What if the moment you call an inconvenience is actually the doorway you've been waiting for? What if the things that push you off your path are secretly placing you on the right one? She thought her morning had collapsed the second she missed her flight. Exhausted, irritated, and emotionally worn thin, she sank into a quiet corner of the airport cafe, watching the glass windows blur as she replayed everything that had gone wrong. It felt like nothing more than another pointless setback, until someone took the seat beside her, a stranger, calm, composed, reading a book so uncommon that few people even knew it existed. The very same book she carried in her bag, the one her grandmother had handed her the day before she left this world. They talked. He listened. And in those few unscripted minutes, she received the clarity she had been pleading for. Not during meditation, not in a dream, but in the middle of a delay she despised. Was that coincidence? Or was it something more deliberate? We all know moments like this. Odd overlaps, perfect timing, encounters that feel orchestrated with impossible precision. Yet most people shrug them off as chance, imagination, or cognitive tricks, because accepting the alternative would demand admitting that life is not a straight line, that something aware is responding, that the unseen is active. And if that is true, then nothing unfolds randomly. Here comes the paradox. Once you acknowledge synchronicity, it multiplies. And the moment you dismiss it, it fades from view. Why? Because synchronicity is not an isolated event. It is a reflection, a subtle echo of your internal frequency interacting with the quantum field around you. Your logical mind has been trained to interpret life as a predictable chain of causes and effects, a tidy timeline governed by probability. But the quantum realm presents a different map, one where time and space do not behave like fixed walls, but like fluid elements constantly shifting. Everything is linked through intangible currents of energy, exchanging information faster than your intellect can comprehend. Within that invisible network, meaning keeps emerging. What you casually call coincidence is actually coherence between your inner world and the greater field. Carl Jung, the psychologist who introduced the concept of synchronicity, described it as meaningful alignment between events where chance alone cannot explain the connection. He believed that your psyche and the physical world are intertwined, that your thoughts, images, memories, and outer experiences arise from the same unified source, continuously communicating with itself. This is not just philosophy. Quantum experiments show that particles once connected remain bonded beyond distance, with changes in one instantly mirrored in the other. Now imagine your consciousness as one of those connected points. Every intention, emotion, or silent whisper sends out a signal, and the field answers back. The reply rarely comes in sentences. It comes through symbols, repeated numbers, melodies that find you at the right second, conversations overheard at the perfect time, or unexpected detours that guide you exactly where you needed to land. Synchronicity is the field speaking. But here is what most people overlook. The universe is always offering signs. Most of us simply lack the sensitivity to notice. We have been trained to prioritize noise over nuance. But if you realize every subtle nudge was guiding you toward alignment, would you start paying attention? Let me ask you something. What if every major turning point in your life was preceded by a synchronicity you almost ignored? The message you nearly skipped? The person you met by accident who changed everything? The wrong turn that led to the right destination? We label these moments accidents only because we cannot see the whole pattern. From the viewpoint of the field, nothing stands alone. Your desires, your state of being, your direction all interact at once, shaping outcomes based on where your awareness rests. And here is where the magic deepens. The more conscious you become, the more synchronicities appear. Not because they suddenly increase, but because you begin perceiving layers of reality that were always active, hidden behind the distractions of ordinary thinking. Synchronicity sharpens your perception. It pulls you into presence. It awakens your intuitive senses. You begin to feel guided instead of confused, supported instead of abandoned. Life stops feeling chaotic. It becomes responsive. But not every synchronicity feels gentle. Some arrive as disruption, discomfort, delays, or closed doors. Not to punish you, but to reroute you. The universe does not communicate only through pleasant signals. Sometimes it uses interruption as a catalyst, because softness would not have caught your attention. Just like the woman in the airport, she thought everything was falling apart. In truth, she was being redirected through resonance, not misfortune, and that reveals an essential truth. Synchronicities do not happen to you. They happen through you. They arise from the dialogue between your energetic state and the intelligence of the field. You send the signal, the field receives it, and the returning echo appears as the sign. So the real question is not whether a sign will come, but whether you are awake enough to recognize it. What you perceive as a random alignment may actually be the universe responding to your inner shift. And the more your frequency aligns with clarity, gratitude, and intention, the more fluently the field communicates. In the next chapter, we will explore how those messages travel through the quantum fabric, why synchronicity follows precise mechanics, and how this skill can be awakened in anyone, including you, especially you. Many believe the universe speaks through silence. But what if that silence is saturated with signals, purposeful and exact? What if reality is not a static structure, but a living field rearranging itself in response to your presence? This is not metaphor. This is physics. To understand synchronicity, you must step beyond what the eyes can register and into the quantum weave connecting everything you experience. The signs you receive are never random sparks. They are replies. And those replies arise from a field that is not only alive but perceptive. So let us begin with something school never taught you. Traditional physics presents the universe like a predictable engine, cold and measurable, where you stand apart from your surroundings as nothing more than an observer. But quantum theory dissolves that boundary. In the quantum realm, the observer influences whatever they observe. Awareness becomes part of the equation, and every form of existence is intertwined within an unseen network of information. Physicist David Bohm suggested that the reality we perceive is only the surface layer, the expressed form of a deeper dimension he called the implicate order. In that deeper layer, separation dissolves and everything unfolds as a single interconnected movement. It is not rigid, it is alive. It is where intention gathers before becoming experience. Pause with that for a moment. Synchronicities are not born from the visible world around you. They emerge from that hidden dimension and rise into your life as reflections of the frequency you are carrying. So when repeating numbers catch your eye, when the same phrase follows you from different mouths, when circumstances converge with uncanny precision, it is not the universe pushing messages toward you. It is the field revealing what you are already broadcasting. That is the level of intelligence you are interacting with. Biologist Rupert Sheldrake refers to this vast connective system as the morphic field, a shared reservoir of memory and awareness. In this perspective, every emotion, belief, and intention sends a subtle wave into the field. These waves mingle with countless others. What returns to you is a rearrangement of your environment, your chance meetings, your timing, not through linear reasoning, but through vibrational harmony. Imagine standing inside a sphere lined with countless panes of polished glass. Each pane shows a slightly different version of your life, some shaped by your clarity, others by your doubt. The pane that brightens in front of you is the one vibrating with your dominant inner state. That glow is the timeline you are inhabiting. The flashes you call synchronicities are glimpses from nearby panes, revealing that another version of your reality is close enough to merge with if you shift your frequency. Yet the field does not speak with force. It moves gently through patterns, hesitations, and soft reroutes. It rarely interrupts your path with dramatic signs because it honors your freedom to choose. It nudges, it hints, it opens subtle doors. And because of this delicacy, many miss the messages entirely. They expect dramatic revelations while their attention is lost in distractions and noise. But the field does not respond to noise. It responds to coherence. This is where the alignment of your heart and mind becomes crucial. When your emotions and thoughts move in the same direction, your energetic field steadies and amplifies. You become a clear signal in a sea of static. Research from the HeartMath Institute shows that this state of coherence produces measurable changes in your electromagnetic field, heightening your sensitivity to subtle information. In simple terms, The more harmonious you are within yourself, the more easily you can feel synchronicity unfolding. Your body recognizes the message before your mind interprets it. You meet someone and sense an immediate familiarity. You take an unexpected turn and discover something that alters your trajectory forever. You dream of an image and it greets you the next day on a billboard. These aren't illusions, they are resonances. The field is adjusting itself to the contours of your awareness. But here is where the deeper quantum movement begins. The field does more than echo who you are. It leans you gently toward who you are becoming. Synchronicity is not just reassurance. It is a summons, a graceful alignment designed to mirror your current state and stretch your evolution. You think you are just glancing at a repeated number. In truth, it is a checkpoint in frequency. You think someone's casual remark is insignificant, yet it is a thread tugging you in the direction of your unfolding. As your presence deepens, these signals weave themselves into a trail, a cadence, a conversation. You stop waiting for signs because you realize you are already immersed in them. And that is the moment life begins to feel like intentional artistry. Now bring the lens closer. If the universe communicates through vibration, and if the signs you encounter are precise reflections of the energy you carry, then the clarity of those messages depends on the purity of your signal, which means clearer guidance requires you to become a clearer conduit. You do this by soothing your nervous system, by choosing thoughts aligned with the future you want to inhabit, by nurturing emotions that generate internal harmony. When you do, the field responds, the way forward brightens, and life shifts from feeling like a riddle to feeling like a collaboration. In the next chapter, we will explore why synchronicities appear only when you are prepared for them, and how your frequency determines not just what arrives, but whether you can truly receive it. Think about the times when everything felt silent. No hints, no nudges, only static, as if the universe had stepped away or forgotten your name. And then, without warning, the signals begin flooding in. The right people, the perfect phrase, numbers repeating like encrypted messages, dreams blending into your waking hours. It feels as if a curtain has lifted, and suddenly you realize the universe was never quiet. You simply weren't tuned to the right wavelength. Here is the truth few ever hear. Synchronicities are not scarce. Your readiness is. The field is always organizing, always responding, always reflecting. But your ability to perceive the message depends entirely on the frequency you occupy. Imagine reality as an immense symphony of possibilities, thousands of melodies playing at once. If you are resonating with fear, scarcity, or self-blame, you cannot hear the melody crafted for you, even if it is playing inches away. Shift your inner tone, and the music emerges. Patterns line up. The way forward becomes visible. Why? Because perception is not passive. It is vibrationally shaped. Your brain's reticular activating system acts like a tuner, sifting through information based on the emotional lens and identity you are inhabiting. When you are tangled in stress or doubt, this system tightens its filter. You literally overlook the signals, not because they aren't present, but because they fall outside the range of your current frequency. That is not simply psychology. That is the mechanics of the field. Lower states such as shame, fear, and guilt compress your energy. Your heartbeat becomes disordered. Your mind loses coherence. Your body slips into defense. In that state, your intuitive receptors dim. You pass by the very moment meant to guide you. You dismiss the pattern because your inner lens is clouded. But when you step into elevated states like gratitude, wonder, love, steadiness, your perception widens, your tuner opens, your biofield strengthens, your heart and mind move into harmony, generating a coherent electromagnetic signature that aligns with higher frequencies of the field and draws them into focus. In this alignment, synchronicity feels natural. You recognize subtle rhythms, you sense soft invitations, you start living in a world where everything feels purposeful because it is. Yet this is not about forcing positivity or pretending your pain does not exist. True readiness is authentic resonance. It begins with feeling what is real, integrating it, and then rising. The path to more synchronicity begins within. You must become the version of yourself who is energetically capable of receiving the signals you desire. So let's make this tangible. You ask for guidance, but are you emotionally open enough to hear it? You want signs that your desire is near, but are you vibrating at the frequency of that reality or still entangled in doubt? You ask for clarity, but are you cultivating the quiet needed to recognize its arrival? Because here is a powerful truth. The universe is not withholding your signs. Your frequency is delaying your ability to perceive them. Synchronicity is not the beginning of manifestation. It is the midpoint. It arrives after your signal has shifted, after you have broadcast the same vibration long enough for the field to shape its reply. That is why when people say everything suddenly fell into place, what they are truly describing is the moment their vibration stabilized. The signs didn't simply appear, they became visible. And sometimes that's all it takes. A shift in how you breathe, a single choice to surrender, a decision to hold a new perspective about your future before the evidence shows up. In those tiny openings, the veil thins, the field rearranges, and reality, which has been patiently waiting, begins responding instantly. Picture yourself in a car, static filling the radio, nothing making sense. You turn the dial blindly, and suddenly a song emerges, clear and precise. The lyrics speak directly to your heart. The melody answers the question you've been carrying. This is synchronicity in motion. You are never disconnected. You are just out of alignment. The challenge and the gift is realizing you are the transmitter, the tuner, and the witness. When you take responsibility for your inner state, you reclaim your position in the conversation with the universe. Synchronicities stop feeling like miracles and start feeling like feedback. The field isn't trying to dazzle you. It is teaching you to listen. So when it feels quiet, ask yourself, am I fully present to perceive it? Am I coherent enough emotionally to receive? Am I willing to resonate at the frequency of the guidance I seek? The signs are already moving. The field is already echoing. Symbols form in dreams, conversations, detours, and delays. You aren't waiting for the universe to speak. You are learning how to hear. The next step is interpretation. Receiving a sign is one thing, but reading it is where mastery begins. A license plate number, a phrase you just wrote appearing in someone else's conversation, an unexpected call from a long-lost friend. Your heart whispers, was that something, or am I imagining it? Most get stuck here, not because the universe went silent, but because they haven't learned discernment. We have reached the turning point. You now understand that synchronicities are not rare. They are reflections. Your frequency shapes what you perceive. Now comes the skill of reading them. Synchronicity is a language and fluency is required. Without it, even the clearest message is noise. But when you learn to interpret the field, it becomes your compass. Here is a fundamental shift. Synchronicity is not prediction, it is confirmation. It does not foretell the future. It mirrors what your field is already generating, the reality you are in the process of manifesting. The sign is not leading you somewhere new. It reflects where you are already heading. The most accurate way to decode these reflections is through state-based awareness. Instead of asking, what does this mean? Ask, what state was I in when it appeared? Fear or peace, doubt or knowing, resistance or flow? The emotional tone you embody provides the context. The field does not send fixed instructions. It mirrors your vibration through symbolic feedback. Consider a simple scenario. You're contemplating leaving a job that no longer resonates. Fear and uncertainty are present, but deep down, you know the time has come. Then on your commute, you see the number 555 repeatedly within minutes. Is this a direct instruction to quit? Not exactly. It is a reflection of your inner readiness for transformation. The field echoes your vibration. When you recognize that echo, it amplifies your frequency. Alignment deepens. You move with the message rather than chasing it. The universe communicates through archetypal symbols, patterns, numbers, and sequences that carry meaning across both collective and individual consciousness. Think of these as quantum shortcuts, vibrational codes delivering layered guidance instantly. Repeating numbers, for instance, are frequency snapshots. 111 often appears when thought aligns with manifestation. 222 confirms energetic balance. 333 signals, integration of body, mind, and spirit. But the significance depends entirely on your inner state at the moment. Symbolic animals or objects, hawks, snakes, butterflies, hold personal resonance. Ask not what they mean universally, but what they awaken within you. Precise repetitions, a word, song, lyric, or idea appearing multiple times, are alerts of vibrational alignment. The field says, notice this, your frequency is active here. The greatest mistake is forcing interpretation. Overanalyzing invites the ego to hijack the message, twisting it into fear or fantasy. The solution is embodied neutrality. Pause, breathe, feel the signal in your body. Ask, is this consistent with the direction I am already choosing? Does it bring me closer to coherence or pull me into confusion? This is the golden key. The field mirrors your inner state, and your discernment determines whether that reflection becomes guidance. A true synchronicity never pulls you into force. It leads you toward clarity, not control. It doesn't pressure you. It doesn't demand urgency. It opens space. You feel recognized. You feel supported. You feel quietly guided, not pushed, not cornered. That's how you know the signal is genuine. It lands softly and widens your inner horizon. And sometimes you'll receive a sign yet still have no idea what it means. That's not failure. That's timing. Not every sign is meant to be solved on arrival. Some are seeds, some are invitations, some are markers from your future self, placed in the path long before you arrive, reminding you, this moment matters. Stay open. The more you trust, the more the field speaks. The more it speaks, the more natural it becomes to live guided. Not by logic alone, but by a living dialogue with the unseen architecture around you. That is the moment life stops being self-improvement and becomes a form of quantum partnership. So let's activate this together. Right now, as you reflect on your own journey, ask yourself, what signals have I been overlooking because I didn't trust my own resonance? Then declare, not just with your mind, but with your field, that you are ready to listen differently. And if these words are igniting something familiar inside you, a remembering rather than a revelation, then let this phrase become an anchor. I speak the language of signs. Let it become a frequency. Let it reorganize you. Let it signal back to the quantum. I'm awake. I'm listening. Because what comes next is not subtle, it's catalytic. In the next chapter, you'll see how synchronicity becomes more than symbolic. It becomes mechanical, a component of manifestation itself. You'll witness real stories, people who co-created healing, love, success, and transformation, not through force, but through surrendered attention. Their experiences are not mythology, they are mirrors, and one of them may reflect where you're heading next. Manifestation doesn't always begin with a vision board. Sometimes it begins with a stranger's sentence landing at the perfect moment, a book falling open to the exact line you needed, a number repeating so insistently that it interrupts your assumptions and makes you pause. Because your manifestations rarely arrive with fanfare. They whisper first, and those whispers are what we call synchronicities. Let me take you into the lives of people who didn't just notice the signs and they followed them. And what they found on the other side wasn't coincidence, it was co-creation. Story 1, the job that found her. She was exhausted. Months of searching, dozens of rejections. Every effort felt like pushing through mud. Just when she decided to stop trying, she started seeing 1111 everywhere. Clocks, receipts, random screens. At first, she dismissed it as pattern seeking, but it kept returning, like a quiet pulse. One night, she stumbled across a video, not about careers, but alignment. The speaker said, when 1111 appears repeatedly, it's asking you to realign your desires with your energy. That evening, for the first time in months, she didn't apply to anything. She didn't strategize. She sat in silence and let her true desire rise. Not the practical desire, the real one. The next morning, a former colleague messaged her. Are you open to a position we just created? I thought of you last night. The role wasn't posted anywhere. She didn't seek it. She aligned one and the field responded. The sign didn't predict the outcome. It prepared her for it. Story 2, the dream that delivered love. He had just left a painful relationship. His heart felt armored. He wasn't seeking connection. He was avoiding it. Then one night he dreamed of a woman standing on a bridge, holding a blue umbrella. She looked at him with a familiarity he couldn't explain. No words, just recognition. A few days later, it rained. He took a path he rarely walked. And there she was, a woman with a blue umbrella, the same presence, the same eyes as the dream. They spoke. The conversation felt like remembering someone he hadn't met yet. Weeks later, they were inseparable. He didn't manifest love by force. He didn't chase. He simply followed the thread, the dream, the resonance, the inner preview of a timeline already forming in the subtle. Story 3, the numbers that saved her. She had been quietly carrying the weight of depression, keeping it hidden even from those closest to her. Yet whenever she silently asked for a sign, something to anchor her, she began noticing 444 on her phone, on bus stops, even once etched in a bathroom stall. It felt strange, almost absurd. One day, curiosity led her to search for the meaning. The first message she read said, "You are fully supported even when you feel alone." Tears came, not because of the number itself, but because she suddenly felt held by something unseen, real, and alive. That night, she confided in a friend and asked for support. Everything began to shift. Healing began. And now whenever she sees 444, she smiles knowing the field is still responding. These stories aren't coincidences. They are mirrors. The pattern is the same: a frequency shift, an inner surrender, a moment of clarity or intention. Synchronicity doesn't reward, it responds. It comes not from the outside world, but from the quantum field reflecting your energy back to you. When desire, emotion, and attention align, the field doesn't hint at possibilities. It pulls you into the timeline where they already exist. That's why these experiences feel familiar. You've seen 1111 flicker on a clock and felt something stir. That stir is the edge of your next timeline vibrating into view. Trust it consciously. The more you engage, the more the field organizes, and the more it delivers. Synchronicity isn't magic, it's intelligence. When you honor it by acting, shifting, or simply listening, you enter a flow where manifestation becomes a natural state of being. You follow signals even when they make no sense, and reality responds because you embody the frequency, not because you wish for it. Daily quantum tuning practice. 5 minutes, step 1. Reset. Close your eyes, place a hand on your heart. Inhale for 5 seconds, hold for 2, exhale for 6. Repeat 3 rounds. Let your nervous system settle. Let the static dissolve. Presence is activated. Step 2. Alignment. Question. Ask silently, what does my field need from me today? Not what you want, but what you are being asked to embody. The answer may appear as a word, a color, a memory, or nothing at all. Receive it without forcing. Step 3. Signal broadcast. Feel gratitude for what's already present. Gratitude stabilizes your signal, telling the field, I am ready to receive more. Stay in this state for at least 60 seconds. Step 4. Listening posture. Treat reality as an intelligent feedback loop. Notice repeated patterns, numbers, words. Pause. Feel them. Say silently, this is part of the response. Don't chase meaning. Let resonance speak first. Awareness, intention, and emotional alignment are your keys. When you honor your frequency, the field becomes responsive. You begin to see what others miss, move when signs are subtle, and collapse timelines not through effort, but through clarity. People may ask, how do things always seem to align for you? It's not luck, it's attunement. Your nervous system is trained, your heart trusts the unseen, and you remember that the universe speaks in symbols, not sentences. The field recognizes your coherence and responds with precision. Synchronicity is not the goal. It's the natural byproduct of becoming your true self. Stop pretending, stop forcing, stop chasing timelines that don't match your energy. The signs will find you because they were always meant for the version of you who is present, aware, and aligned. Synchronicity flows to those who live in coherence, not perfection or performance. Coherence happens when your thoughts, emotions, and energy are aligned with the frequency of who you truly are. The field flows toward you naturally, like gravity, responding to your alignment. You don't need tools, books, or rituals. Awareness, intention, and emotional clarity are enough. The more you honor your frequency, the more subtle patterns become visible, guiding you through life in a way that feels purposeful and effortless. You begin to notice the signs others miss, follow them without chasing, and create reality through clarity rather than struggle. Synchronicity becomes your feedback system, your compass, your natural way of interacting with life. When you embody this frequency, you stop waiting for signs. You live in ongoing conversation with the field. The universe is always responding. It's your readiness that allows you to perceive it.